everyone. Welcome to Nance Farm Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Caci and, of course, our adorable adopted calves, June, Loretta, and Patsy. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. And for anyone that is new to Discover Dairy and Adopt a Cow, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while using dairy concepts to teach those lessons. If you're interested, those resources can be found at discoverdairy.com. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're either interested in joining again or you are new to the fund and want to join it, registration will open on May 1st. And since that's not for about another month, we encourage you to go to discoverdairy.com/adopt. And on that landing page, you'll find a short little form you can complete and get added to our mailing list. So that way, when May 1st comes around, we will send you a little notification email letting you know registration is open so you don't miss the fun next year. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you can see that chat feature is enabled. We are seeing all of you joining us today and popping in here and saying hello. Please continue to use that. Feel free to use it to leave comments and ask questions. Farmer Caci is really excited to answer these questions, but please just keep in mind, make sure these questions and comments are related to the live chat, and please be sure that they are school appropriate. Okay, well, with that, I am so excited to let's just see who's joining us today. So let's check out who is live with us. We've got a bunch of classes, which is really exciting. So we've got some folks from Fort Mill, South Carolina, some from Greenville who adopted June. Hello, everybody. We've got Powderville Elementary, 4th grade class. Hello, good morning. We have some folks from Charleston, from Pendleton, Myrtle Beach, Fort Mill. We've got Mrs. Chapelier's class who's watching from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Welcome, everybody. We've got Paris Elementary, Taylor's Elementary. Let's see. We've got a 2nd grade class from Red Bank. Hello, everybody. And let's see, a couple more here. Pageland, South Carolina. It's a homeschool group with a 1st grader, 3rd grader, and 5th grader. Hello, guys. And we are, let's see, another one from Slater, Marietta. So welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have you here today. I can see lots more coming in here now that I've been doing the intro. Jerry Zucker Middle School, Mrs. Brooker's Indiana Land Elementary School, lots more that are coming in. So thank you so much, everybody, for letting us know where you're tuning in from. You know where that chat feature is now, so go ahead and use that for your questions and comments as we go through today. And I know Farmer Caci is really excited to go ahead and get those answered for you. So with that, I am pleased to introduce you to our Farmer Caci in McConnells, South Carolina at Nance Farm. Hey, Farmer Caci, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Brittany. I hope all of you are well today, too. Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have each of your classes join us. We know that it's been kind of crazy and we had to do a reschedule, and we are so excited that you could all hop back and join with us. We are very thankful you are here. Just a little bit about our farm so you have an idea of what we do and who you're talking to. We are 12th generation farmers. My husband and I farm with my in-laws, so with my husband's mother and father, and our 4 children who are ages 4 to 14. Our farm is a completely family operation with 2 part-time helpers that help with milking, especially right now as we're getting ready to go into the silage field and start harvesting food for all of our cattle. We milk 130 cows. We milk Holsteins, which are the big black and white ones. We milk Jerseys, which are the little brown ones. And then we milk a Guernsey, some Swisses, and lots of crossbreeds, which are a mix between multiple breeds. Most of you probably, when you think of a dairy cow, you think of the black and white ones. They are the majority of what we milk, and they are a lot bigger than the other ones. Our cows are milked twice a day, every day. And we milk 8 on one side of our barn and 8 on the other. So we milk 16 at a time. Um, we farm in McConnells and we grow most of our own silage, which is a grass that's been cut up and set into a big pit to ferment, which just makes it like a yummy, tasty candy for the cows.
It's almost kind of like a cucumber and a pickle type of thing. It ferments it kind of like you ferment a cucumber into a pickle. Yeah.
Yes. Or sauerkraut, if you eat sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. We spend lots of time in either the silage field or the hay field during the spring and summer months and into the fall. We are very fortunate in South Carolina that we have a long growing season and can grow a good many of our crops. We do purchase some feed, and you can see that your girls are really, really enjoying their breakfast this morning. And this is brought to us from a feed mill over in Cowpen, South Carolina. So if anybody's joining us from that area, our feed comes from over there.
Okay. I haven't seen that actual town, but I wonder if anyone's nearby. I don't know South Carolina very good, but if anyone's near that town, go ahead and let us know and say, yeah, we're near there. You're near where they get their food.
So yes, and we also, if you are in the York County area, so that means you're in Fort Mill, Indian Land, Chester, York School District 1, Rock Hill, Clover. Some of you may have actually seen our milk on the shelf because we also have an on-farm creamery where we bottle whole milk, buttermilk, and chocolate milk and sell to stores locally. Now, if you're outside of the area, you might not have had that opportunity, but those of you in the York, Chester, Lancaster area might have.
Oh my goodness, that sounds delicious. Now, can you remind us what kind of products you said? I know you have milk, but was there anything else that you said you've got on the shelves that we could enjoy?
We have whole milk, buttermilk, and chocolate milk.
Buttermilk and chocolate milk.
Yes. And the chocolate milk's a little addictive. And for those of you who are local, there might also be some strawberry milk coming your way in the next couple of weeks. So that's something to keep your eye out if you like strawberry milk.
Oh, I'm a fan of strawberry milk. I might have to drive myself down to South Carolina to get some delicious strawberry milk.
It might be a little commute, but we would hope it would be worth it.
Oh, Farmer Caci, so first of all, I just want to say a 12th generation farm is extremely impressive. You do not find many farms that are on their 12th generation. So I just want to applaud you guys for just being true stewards of the land for so many years, and just being great caretakers of your animals and great contributors to your community. That is just absolutely incredible. So anyone that's listening and watching, please know that that's a really big accomplishment for a farm to be around that long. And we are so excited to have Farmer Caci and Nance Farm joining us for this program and everything to experience that heritage with their farm. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That is awesome. So Farmer Caci, yeah, so we have a lot of people who are super excited and are here joining us today. Farmer Caci is going to go ahead and start sharing some information about our girls, give us a little update on them, but go ahead and throw your questions in the chat as you've been listening to Farmer Caci, or things maybe you've been wondering throughout the year as you've been getting updates. So go ahead and put those questions in the chat. We'll get to them in a couple minutes while she gives us an update on how our girls are doing.
Well, here are your girls, and they are doing great. Now, just like all of you have been experiencing weather, they have to experience weather too. And sometimes that weather makes it a little bit harder for them to grow as fast as we want them to. Now, when they were born, all of them stood about right here next to me. They were all about that height. And now you can see they are all grown a lot. They've grown almost over a foot, and they have all gained almost 250 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
When we weighed them the other day, so for most of you watching, they weigh way more than you do. They and it's always funny because calves don't always look like they weigh as much. It's like the kid in your school that you think isn't quite as strong, and you try to maybe run and beat them to the playground, and all of a sudden they beat you because they're very deceiving, and that's how the calves are. They don't look like they've grown as much as they have until you are in the pen with them, and then you realize, wow, I can't pick this up anymore. When they were born, I was able to scoop them up and put them in their hutches. I'm not trying that today.
Well, yeah, they're probably what? So they're probably close to 350 pounds, somewhere around there. Is that right?
They're right at 350 pounds, all three of them. I think she was, hang on, I have to look at her ear. This is June, and I'm pretty sure June. Yeah, I think, is that June? Pretty sure that's June.
What was the number?
97.
Oh, that's Loretta.
Loretta. I'm sorry, Loretta. I was having a hard time seeing her. She is a little bit lighter. She was 335. So she was a little bit lighter, but the other two have both, June and Patsy have both gotten to right at 350. And you can see part of that's because they like to eat a lot.
I was going to say, they are really chowing down on their breakfast this morning. They are enjoying that breakfast. Oh my goodness. Everyone's been following these girls all year and seeing their photos. And can you remember when they were that little and they were just small enough for Caci to be able to pick them up and put them in their pen, and now they're just becoming really beautiful heifers and definitely too big for us to pick up, but they're growing just like they're supposed to be, which is awesome.
Yes, and all of their mamas are doing well. Their mamas are actually all eating their breakfast right now. They've all come through the milk line this morning, and now they are actually, I can see them from here standing in the feed barn, chowing down on their own breakfast, getting ready to go to the pasture so they can enjoy the nice weather today.
Oh yeah, better than the day we originally had this plan for, right? You guys had a lot of rain.
Much better. We had 2 inches of rain when you were supposed to join us earlier in the week. So much nicer today than it would have been on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna keep watching these girls as they're growing and as they're eating here. Farmer Caci, we have some great questions coming in for you if you're ready to answer some of these. So awesome. So let's see. So we had someone, just to recap, someone had asked before we got to it, they were asking how much Loretta weighed. So, they're about 335, 350 pounds, just as a reminder. And you can see about how tall they are. They're what, 4? I don't know, 3.5 feet, 3.5, 4 feet.
3.5, 4 feet, depending on, I'm standing above them. I'm standing on a ridge in the barn above them. So they're a little bit taller than they look next to me because I'm trying to be taller than they are.
Gotcha. That works. Let's see. So we have Christina, who was wondering how many cows total live on your farm.
Oh, that's a really good question. We milk 130 cows. But for every cow that we milk, that cow also had a calf. And we raise most of those calves up. All the girls we keep for heifers and all to come back into our milk line later on in their lifetime. And all of the boy cows we raise up. And then once they hit a certain weight, they go to a different farm to be finished out. So we keep just dairy cows. We keep approximately 250 to 300 at one time.
Wow. That is a lot of cows to take care of at once.
That is. And all of them get fed every day. All of them make sure they have water and get checked on. And so somebody is always checking a cow, feeding a cow, fixing a broken water pipe, whatever it might be. Somebody is always working with a cow pretty much all day long. On top of all of these girls, we also have about 50 to 75 head of beef cows too that we tend to on a daily basis. So it can be a very busy time for us.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That just shows your dedication to your animals and just taking really good care of them. And it's a lifestyle for you guys. You know, it's something you've chosen to be the caretakers of these beautiful girls so we can enjoy delicious dairy products. I, for one, am very thankful you are a dairy farmer and provide delicious milk because I would die without my ice cream.
Yes, I'm pretty sure our family would just perish without cheese. So,
Oh my goodness. Well, we've got some other great questions coming in. Someone from Graysonson Hoffman asked, how old is your oldest cow that you have on the farm?
oh, that's a really good question. I would say that our oldest cow is named Ears, and Ears is a Jersey Brown Swiss cross. So she is 12 years old now, and she is about this tall. So she's not a very big cow as far as height goes, but she's about this wide. um, she's quite plump, and she is probably our oldest. And I have a little boy to the side of my helper telling me that she is actually 13, not 12.
Oh my goodness. 13 years old. That's crazy. And you know, I've actually heard some farmers say before using this comparison that every 1 year for a cow is about 10 years to a human life, approximately. You know, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but so I mean, that's an old cow then, because you tell me how many people you know that live to 130 years old. So she's living a good life.
And she is kind of slow moving. When the rest of them run across the pasture, she just walks. She's not going to run, but she comes up and she milks at the same time every day in the same spot on the same side of the line. So she is definitely reliable and by far one of the most laid back cows we have.
Yeah.
She might not be big, but nobody pushes her around.
Right. She's got her place on the farm. Oh, that's too cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. We had a good question from Kiana. They were wondering, are the girls old enough to be milked right now, or when will they join the milking herd?
So, Kiana, they are not old enough to be milked right now. They were born in September, and it is now April. So they are not quite 6 months old yet because we haven't gotten to their 6 month birthday. So we have another year and a half at the minimum before we will milk them. Cows need to be 2 years old before we milk them, and sometimes cows don't come back into the milking herd until they're older, and sometimes that might mean they're 3 years old before we start milking them. All of our cows, all of our heifers, and all of our milk cows run with a bull, and so they are bred when they are ready naturally. So it's a little bit different than some farms, but with so many cows and only our family doing it, this is what works best for our farm.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And you know, it's just a testament. Sometimes people are like 2 years old. That sounds so young, but they really, I mean, you know, it's about a 20-year-old person, 30, 20 to 30 years old. That's exactly when they're mature and when they're ready to have a baby. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing that.
And if you look behind the calves, you can see we have a couple of cows that are waiting to calve right there. So these calves are standing above where the milk cows are. And you can see there's a lot more growth that's going to go on before they get to the point to have a calf.
Yeah.
Each one of those cows, their back is almost as tall as I am.
Oh my.
So that's a big difference from what you're looking at beside me versus where the milk cows will be.
Right.
And we have one over there on the far side. She's giving me the evil eye, but she won't come and visit because I don't have any extra feed for her right now. She only wants to visit me if I'm going to feed her. And so since I don't have her feed bucket, she's being a little antisocial.
They're a little spoiled, it sounds like.
Some of them more than others, and that particular one happens to be pretty spoiled.
Oh, that just means that they have a special place in your heart and they're very well loved, which is awesome. So we have some other good questions. Let's see. Someone was wondering, so this is from a second grade class, Spalding Elementary, Lamar Spalding Elementary. They're wondering, why do cows have to eat certain foods? And, I guess we could even explain, how do they eat it? Because we certainly aren't going to eat silage, but why are they able to eat it?
So cows are very unique in that they have 4 compartments to their stomach. So when they swallow food, they do chew it up some, but it goes down and it kind of just turns around in their tummies, and then they will actually regurgitate some of it, which sounds really really gross, but that's how they continue their digestion process, and they chew it up some more so that it can absorb the nutrients in the feed so that they can grow.
Right.
Cows eat lots of different things, and some of them will eat things you never imagined if they are given half a chance. We have to be a little careful because we've had cows eat cookies. You don't think of cows eating cookies, but they will. If you leave them sitting around, they will definitely eat your cookies. But that's not what helps them grow. What helps them grow are things like grass and hay, which is grass that has been cut and dried and baled up to feed them when there is no grass in the field in the wintertime. Silage, which for us, our silage is a little bit different from some. We grow what is called small grain silage. So it would be wheat, maybe some rye, and some millet sometimes. And so it's cut when it's not quite mature, meaning it's not all the way seeded out where you might cut it and use it for bread flour. It still has a lot of water in it, and we let that water help with the fermentation process. And that silage, which kind of smells bad to us, sometimes is really, really yummy to them and like candy, or like you said earlier, kind of like pickles. But cows have to be tended to really carefully and made sure they don't eat too much. Because just like you get a bellyache if you eat too much, they get a bellyache if they eat too much.
Right. Right.
So all of their
Wonderful.
feed is very well. We actually have a nutritionist that we work with who takes a sample of our silage to know what kind of nutrients are in it. And that nutritionist actually makes sure that the feed we add to our silage is giving them exactly what they need to grow and be their best.
Wow. That's incredible. I wish I had a personal nutritionist who can help me look fit and fab all the time, because that would be wonderful. These gals that are living the life, that's for sure.
Yes, it'd be so
Oh my
nice if
goodness.
we had somebody to work with us that individually, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. So, well, we have lots of great questions still coming in. One that's kind of going to accomplish a couple of these, hopefully. They were wondering, do calves play together, or what do they do in their free time when they're hanging out?
So, to an extent, yes, they play together. Cows, in some ways, are similar to maybe friends at school. These 3 have been raised pretty much together. And when we turn them out to pasture, they're still going to pretty much stay together. They form a bond, you would say, and they'll kind of stick with each other. And when they become milk cows, they will actually probably all come in the milk line at the same time. Um, but just like people, some cows don't like other cows, and they stay by themselves, and they don't really play with anybody. You might see them playing with a tree or a stick or the duck on the pond. You never really know what you're going to catch a cow doing. They absolutely love, or our cows do, love to chase random animals who come into the pasture with them, whether it is our neighbor's duck or our neighbor's rooster
Or even a pig.
or even a pig. They will chase them around the pasture and think it is the greatest thing ever. It's quite interesting because cows usually don't run. They're not animals that run a lot, but they will if there's something interesting in the pasture with them.
Oh, it sounds like they have a
Um,
great time, which is cool.
and they always run when we turn them loose. Like the calves are raised in hutches, and the minute they get into a bigger pen, they got to run around and check it all out. And we always say, look for any cracks that we might have missed because they love to see if they can escape. That's their funnest thing to do is to see how far that they can get away with things.
Right. They are kids. They're curious animals, that's for
They
sure.
are.
So we've got a couple other questions we're going to try and breeze through here quick in the last couple of minutes. We had a couple of questions about the milking in general. So one was asking, how many gallons of milk can a cow produce in a day? And then how many times do you milk a cow a day?
Okay, those are really good questions. And the first question, how many gallons a cow produces in a day? Well, that depends on the cow. Every cow is different. And on our farm, we actually weigh the milk once a month to know exactly how much every cow that we milk, how much do they milk. And when we talk about milk on the farm, we talk about it in pounds because that's how it's measured for us. Whereas you talk about it in gallons. Now, our average cow milks between 7 and 10 pounds of milk a day. 7 and 10 gallons of milk a day. I'm sorry. So that's a lot of milk. When you have 130 cows, and if you say they milk 10 gallons each a day, that's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk.
A lot of milk. And then we milk them twice a day on our farm. We milk them once in the morning and then we milk them once in the afternoon. And all of the milk goes into a giant tank that is about 10 feet tall and holds 25,000 pounds of milk. And now
Okay.
somebody will have to do the math.
Right.
And a gallon of milk weighs 8.8 pounds. So there is you a math problem for today.
Right. 25,000 pounds. And if there's 8.8 pounds in a gallon, let's see who can do that math and let us know how many gallons that entire tank can hold. We'd love to see. So 25,000 pounds and there's 8.8 pounds to 1 gallon. Let's see who can do that math. I've got the number in front of me. So we'll see if anyone puts it in that chat and lets us know how many gallons that is. Awesome. We have a couple other questions before we wrap up here. Let's see. We just had someone. Oh, so you were talking about that they get milk twice a day, but how long is that milking process for each time?
Okay, so each row of 8 cows is in the line for about 7 minutes. It takes us approximately 2 to 3 hours to milk. And then you have about 30 minutes before we milk to get set up and get everything ready. And then you have about 30 to 45 minutes afterwards because every time we milk, we have to clean everything we used. So that means all of the milkers, all of the milk lines, all any kind of bucket we might have used, everything has to be cleaned. It has to be rinsed, washed, and then cleaned again with an acid. And before we start, and that acid is used to get all the soap away. And then before we start, everything is sanitized. So everything is super clean so that all of our milk that goes into the tank is super clean.
Perfect. That sounds like some fresh quality milk coming out of your farm, which is sounding very delicious on my end. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more questions and then we are gonna wrap it up for today. So one person was asking, how do you know if a cow is sick, and like what are some signs you look for, and what are some things that you can do to help them feel better?
That is a really good question. And one of the things is we spend lots and lots of time with all of our cows, as you can imagine, and they are not acting in their normal way. As you can tell, these cows really, they have their ears up, and if their ears are drooping, then we know something's wrong. If now they all have feed on their nose, so you can't really see it. But just like if you have a runny nose, if the cows have a runny nose, we know something's not right. And we are very fortunate. We have a vet that comes once a month. And so if we have noticed anything, we can get him to check it out, and he will give us an idea of what's going on. And if all else fails, just like your mom might do with you, we'll take their temperature. High, love.
Okay. So you can take their temperature. You can tell by their ears being droopy. Okay. Very good. And then, so we've got another question here to start wrapping it up. Where did my question go? I had it. Oh, they were just wondering if you have a favorite cow. Is there a favorite cow on the farm that you have?
I do have a favorite cow, and my entire family can tell you who my favorite cow is. There is no doubt that she is number 11, and her name is Bigger. She is a big brown Swiss. Her back comes to about right here.
Oh my gosh.
She is not the friendliest of cows, but she is my favorite and will forever be my favorite cow.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So Digger is your favorite, and I know I love Swiss too. They are this big fluffy teddy bears. So I can understand why that would be your favorite.
And if you follow our Facebook page for the creamery, you have probably seen Bigger, because she makes an appearance on a regular basis because she is my favorite. So
Aww. Of course.
You might have seen our 4-year-old giving her a big hug, and my 4-year-old doesn't come up to the top of her shoulder. So.
Oh, we love it. We love it so much. And just as an FYI, there was someone who guessed correctly. They figured out that math. Roscoe said about 2,800 gallons. So yes, 2,840 gallons. Good math, everybody. So we want to go ahead and wrap up here with you, Farmer Caci. First of all, we've really appreciated your time today. I know it's flown by. But before we wrap up, I do just want to ask you, what is your why? Why have you chosen to be the 12th generation dairy farmer? Why have you chose to do what you do every day? And what's your passion behind it all?
So that is an awesome question. And to be completely honest, I never wanted to be a dairy farmer. I knew I wanted to be in agriculture and I wanted to be involved in farming, but I grew up on a sheep and beef cattle and cotton farm in South Georgia. And we didn't really have dairy cattle where I grew up. I met my husband, and that was what he wanted to do. And so that's what we do. We started the dairy. We got married in July of 2005. And in August of 2005, 15 days later, we started milking cows.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have learned and grown, and this is definitely a passion for each of us to be able to supply our community and our state and those around us with a high quality product, because not everybody wants to do this, but everybody needs to eat. And so being able to do that is something we find very rewarding. Also, I can't imagine another way to raise our kids.
Right.
They have so much freedom to run around and play and kind of explore anywhere that they want to, within reason. And I can't even fathom doing something else. I actually quit teaching school and came home to be able to be on the farm with our family and do this all together. It makes for a wonderful family activity, which isn't always easy when you work with your family. If you've ever had to do that, it can make life interesting, but it is definitely a passion and a way of life and a way that we can't imagine doing anything else.
Right. Well, clearly, your kiddos, they are very passionate about helping you and wanting to make sure that they're helping take care of these girls. And your passion for the industry is contagious. It makes me want to go work on a dairy farm or have some cows and everyone's like, oh, we wish we could pet our cow and love up on their cows. You have just been such an awesome host farm this year, Farmer Caci, and we've loved following the girls this year and getting pictures of them. So thank you so much for being an awesome host farmer, just in general, a great dairy farmer, having a passion for providing us a really healthy, wholesome, nutritious product like milk. And of course, even processing it on your farm, which is really cool. So if you're near their farm and have the chance to go ahead and grab some of their dairy products, we encourage you to do that. We'd love for you to give their stuff a try and let us know what you think. But thank you so much, Farmer Caci, and thank you to everybody on here who joined us live today. I hope you enjoyed getting to see your girls and asking some questions. Farmer Caci, any last minute words before we tune off today?
The only thing is, everybody should probably say a big thank you to Waylon, because Waylon is our calf manager for the most part. Waylon and my mother-in-law actually do most of the calf work because I milk the cows. And so Waylon feeds them and makes sure that they have plenty of bedding and water, as you can tell. So he does a lot of around the farm, and he is 9 for those of you who are wondering. So yes, even at 9, you can do a lot of things you don't think you can do.
Right. Well, nice job, Waylon. You are doing a great job taking care of these girls. We've loved watching them. So thank you so much. And thank you for raising a wonderful family to take care of these beautiful ladies. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much. This has been great chatting with you. We hope to have you join the program next year. Remember, registration opens May 1st, and you can head over to discoverdairy.com/adopt if you'd like to sign up to get that notification when registration opens up. We hope to see you guys next year. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.